Good. We got one already in. Who is that? Shoot me a comment. Let me know who that is, man. Respect to you. Respect to you. God bless you, man. It's a good day. I'm alive and I'm well. What's good with it? Joshua. No, that's Jose. My bad. My bad, brother. I started 10 minutes early. You know what I'm saying? So people can kind of jump in, at the beginning of the topic or topics, should I say. And listen, this is freestyle right off the dome. I don't have any notes posted up anywhere, nothing written down, which is probably why I make so many mistakes. And I need to start making notes because I constantly forget fighters' name during the live stream. Thanos, what's good, man? Boxing 6007. I knew you was gonna be here, brother. God bless you, man. I'm digging you, bro. HB, what's good? Lorgy, I guess that's how you pronounce the name. What's good, man? What's going on? No problem, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just gonna call you 6007, homeboy. Thank you. We got 10 people in. Listen, y'all already know the drill, man. Go ahead and jab that like button. Go ahead and jab it. Shelton Moore, what's good, man? Listen, if I pronounce you guys' names wrong, I deeply apologize. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Short Bus in the house. Short Bus is another one who is a true supporter, man. You watched the newest video, Thanos? That's what's up, man. Yeah, I decided just to put a little workout regimen in that I just recently started doing. D homie, what's good? Salute. What's going on, Just? Is that just E or just? Is that E silent? Saunders has a size advantage over on Canelo. He has a height advantage. As far as his size, he looks to be a little bit bigger than Canelo, so I would say so. RL, okay. Fury versus Joshua. I don't know when it's going to happen. I want it to happen as soon as possible, just like everyone else, but there's a lot of stuff going on with that situation, man. The Imperial guy, what's good, man? Deep Blue, what's up? Oh, the E is silent. Okay, I got you, Just. Canelo beat Saunders, huh? Oh, my bad. I got you. RT for real talk. Not quite time yet. Hey, man, I appreciate you. Hey, we got 14 watching. We got 12 likes, so that's close. That's more than half. Going to see how many we get into this conversation. If you just not jumped on, I stated when I first started, this live stream, no notes, y'all. This is freestyle, right off the dome, man. So, what you see is what you get. This is raw and uncut, which is probably the reason why I make so many mistakes and forget fighters' names. And I'll probably do that during this live stream, but y'all get it, man. Thank y'all guys for tuning in and supporting, man. Size didn't matter with Canelo versus Smith. True. Listen, man, Smith only had like 4 or 5 weeks to get ready. And 4 or 5 weeks that's the amount of time he should have been over in the US already. So he had a lot stacked against him. Not hating on Canelo, not saying the same thing wouldn't have happened, but Canelo is going to clean out all the British welter and middleweight. Hey, man, we'll see. What's up, Davis? Salute, homie. Hate, love, nothing. 13 likes now. That's what's up. 19 likes now. 19 people on 19 likes. That's what's up. AJ, what's good, man? He gonna dog Billy Joe Saunders? Huh? Hey, man. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. All right, man. You know what? Let's go ahead and start this out, man. All right. So first, I really want to talk about Canelo versus Saunders. All right. Just like my other videos on these other super middleweights, possible opponents for Canelo Alvarez. And I'm not going to be checking the comments while I'm talking about this right now, but I will go to them afterwards. Just like all the other super middleweights, we're not going to really focus much on Canelo. We're going to focus on Billy Joe Saunders. Okay. Former WBO middleweight champion of the world, current WBO super middleweight champion of the world, 5'11", Hatfield, England. 30 fights, 30 wins, 14 knockouts, I do believe. Southpaw, so my type of fighter. Billy Joe Saunders has, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I like Billy Joe Saunders more so than all the other potential opponents for Canelo Alvarez. I like him more so than all the rest. Honestly, I think he's the best out of all the opponents, all the potential opponents for Canelo Alvarez. Billy Joe Saunders is 31 years old, I believe. He's seasoned. He's very, very experienced. Has a lot of levels in his arsenal, y'all. Let's really just dig into him and break him down first. Really nice jab. Okay, and like I said, southpaw fighter. Has superior basic fundamentals. Superior. Understands angles. Understands lateral movement. Somewhat of a counterpuncher. More so boxer. Fights very, very well on the back foot. Has a nice straight 1-2. Footwork is really nice. Head movement is pretty nice. He has the ability to adapt. He doesn't fear other fighters that I know of. And he feels that he can beat Canelo Alvarez. What super middleweight doesn't? But when I hear Billy Joe Saunders say it, I believe him. I honestly believe that he believes in what he's speaking. I really do. And he says he has the tools to beat Canelo Alvarez. Well, let's break that down. Let's see if he actually does. And also he says he wants to be in a position to where he doesn't know what to do. He said because he's never been in a position in a ring where he did not know what to do, when he didn't have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G. He's always been in a position where he knew what to do. And he says he wants to be in uncharted territory and not know what to do next. Like, man, I don't understand there's nothing, everything that I'm doing to this guy isn't working. Well, Saunders, I can tell you this. I can guarantee you, should you ever fight Canelo Alvarez, which I'm hoping that fight happens, you know what I'm saying, sometime next year, you will be in that position. I believe that Canelo will take you there in that position that you so much want to be in. And I understand what he means when he says that, because that's just a challenge to himself. It really is. Let's talk about what he does that I like. Doesn't neglect the body. Does not neglect the body. And I like that. Now, is he the biggest puncher in the world? One punch knockout artist? No. Accumulated punishment. He breaks fighters down. And I stress on how superior his basic fundamentals are. Like, when he's pondering in the ring what to do with his opponents, his basic fundamentals are so superior that they're on autopilot. So he's breaking fighters down while he's thinking of a way to actually beat them. Like, his autopilot is so superb, man. So superb. And I like that about Saunders. He's a thinking fighter. He sets you up. Boxes very well on the back foot, and he can be very aggressive if he chooses to be. Much like he was against Andy Lee. He was so aggressive against the bigger and taller Andy Lee. And he was very elusive against Eubanks Jr. I wasn't sure if he was durable enough to stand up against the onslaught that Eubanks Jr. was going to bring to him, and he did, and he schooled that kid. He schooled him. Did the same thing with David Lemieux. Schooled him, man. I'm talking about box circles around the dudes. And I loved it. But he can be a little dirty sometimes. I remember him fighting a fighter by the name of Martin Murray. He used his head a whole heck of a lot in that fight. He would push the top of his head up against the bottom of Murray's chin a lot in that fight. And I think he did get warned for it a handful of times. But nevertheless, do I respect Saunders as a fighter? Most definitely. I mean, he's proven. He is proven. And there's not much that he does wrong in the ring. I mean, he does get hit from time to time, but who doesn't? He doesn't take a lot of unnecessary punishment. And I do see him getting tired sometimes in certain rounds. You can see when he's starting to get tired. He actually walks forward with his guard up just to get a little bit of break, a little bit of rest. But that's boxing. It happens. But it's never deterred him or never led him to a loss. So his stamina is good, especially against David Lemieux. His stamina was immaculate. Now, granted, that was years ago when he was a middleweight, but it still occurred. Now the question is, does what he possess a threat to Canelo Alvarez? I'm going to tell you guys something. I think it does. Now, I'm not saying that Canelo will lose that fight, but if Saunders ended up winning that fight, I would be shocked, but it would not surprise me because I do give him a chance, more so than the other super middleweights, to beat Canelo Alvarez. Now, I'm not stating that he will do that, but I would not be surprised if it did happen. It would be shocking, but I would not be surprised. I really wouldn't. Now, he stated something in an interview that I thought was so freaking, I think it was his latest interview, I thought was so spot on and made so much freaking sense to me. He says he doesn't watch Canelo fights to see what Canelo does best, to see what Canelo is great at. He said he watched fights to see if his opponents, Canelo's opponents that is, are not going to allow Canelo to do what he does great. How much sense does that make? It makes all the sense in the world to me because you don't see that. You don't see his opponents taking away from him that he does best, not allowing him to do things that he does best, nullifying what he does best. He says you can't allow Canelo Alvarez to gain his distance. You can't allow Canelo Alvarez to dictate the pace of the fight. He says the slower you dictate the pace, the better for Canelo Alvarez. He is a superior, explosive counterpuncher. So why are you going to give him time to think? And Saunders does throw punches and bunches. He does use lateral movement. And the punches that he throws is very, very much so at a high rate. And he sets a feverish pace. He sets a pace in fights that Canelo's not used to. So, should he utilize that against Canelo Alvarez? Most definitely. Will it work? I don't know. Because you have all this in your arsenal, Saunders. You have all of it, but who says it's good enough for Canelo Alvarez? Now, Canelo Alvarez hadn't faced many southpaws in his career. One that stands out in my mind is Austin Trout. But I don't think Austin Trout is the caliber of fighter as Billy Joe Saunders, to be honest with you. Austin Trout in his prime was good, and he gave you fits. I mean, he pulled it off against Miguel Cotto. But I just don't see him and Saunders on the same level. I think Saunders is maybe a couple of levels above Austin Trout. So, just being a southpaw alone is very frustrating for fighters. But, I mean, when it comes to Canelo Alvarez, he adjusts. He really does adjust. But I said you have to outwork Canelo Alvarez. Can Saunders do that? I think he possibly could. I think he has a possibility to do so. It's not a great chance, but I think he has a possibility of doing it to Canelo Alvarez. And Saunders is durable. He took some shots against Eubanks Jr. Some clean shots, and he ate them, and he kept coming. He was so smart in that fight. He clinched when he needed to clinch. He moved out of the way when he needed to move out of the way. He was aggressive when he needed to be aggressive. And he did not stay in the pocket for long. Very, very smart fighter. So do I give him a chance, a better chance at the other super middleweights to beat Canelo Alvarez? Most definitely. But if Canelo Alvarez gauges his rage, I mean, if he gauges his range and he starts attacking to the body, which I'm pretty sure he's going to do that to the taller, not much taller, but the taller Saunders, should he get on the inside. But Sanders is not just going to sit there and let him hit him. I really don't believe that. But I think Canelo will get in close enough and will fight in spots and will up his punch output enough to where he could actually break Saunders down. That's what I see in a perfect and you know, hypothetically and what I know of Canelo, that's what I see him doing, breaking Saunders down to the body. I don't give this fight 50-50 because I do think Canelo will pull out the win against Saunders, but I do not believe it's going to be easy. And like I said, if Saunders just so happens to pull it off, I wouldn't be shocked. I would be shocked, excuse me, but I wouldn't be surprised. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, let's get into some questions. I'm going to be late on these comments, so I got to scroll up and catch up. So here we go. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? Okay, Shelton question. Old school Canelo versus... Man, who is that? Oh, Monsoon? Monsoon. Old school, Monsoon. I don't know. I don't know, man. Because Monsoon was a monster. 20 likes. Okay, do you think Tyson Fury punches harder than Anthony Joshua? No, I don't. I don't, but Tyson Fury's much bigger and he's heavier. So if he puts that weight behind those punches, who knows? Who do you think bookmarks, what? Excuse me, bookmakers have Garcia as favorite against Campbell? What? Garcia's the favorite against Campbell? I think that's crazy. Do you think Jake beats KSI? What round and how? He beats KSI by knockout, and I would say round 4, definitely. Sanders' only chance against Canelo is if he can outwork him and frustrate him with movement. Definitely. The homie O, that's what I'm just saying. So you speaking the same language I'm speaking. Honestly, I think that's the only way too. Canelo will absolutely destroy the man. Quite possibly. John, quite possibly. Benavidez gives him best fight right now. I think I like Benavidez, and I do think after Sanders, Benavidez will be probably the second best super middleweight to give him some problems and frustrate him. But I pick Sanders over Benavidez. Canelo beats the brakes off Sanders. Sanders is so overrated. I think he's underrated. Robert, I think Saunders is underrated, to be honest with you. Orlando, salute Real Talk Boxing. New sub here. Digging what I'm hearing so far. Thank you for subscribing, brother. Much love and respect, man. I appreciate that. I'm going to keep trying to bring it to you guys. Yo, Real Talk, what's good with you? What's going on, Mr. Jackson? Billy O needs to get knocked out ASAP. I mean, we talking about Canelo, so that's possible. Benavidez is the best up there. Benavidez is one of the best, but I do think that Saunders is better than Benavidez, and I think Sanders can pull out a win against Benavidez, but it won't be easy, and that would be an exciting fight. Sanders' best win against a slow-footed Canadian and hasn't fought in a year. I mean, who was that Canadian? Has Billy Joe ever been tested? No. I'm going to say no because he hasn't fought the level of competition that Canelo has fought. I really can't see him in any fights in the past that he's really been tested. I mean, he's pretty much won them decisively. How is important Canelo versus Sanders take place in Vegas or another place? Well, it's definitely going to be in the U.S. It's definitely going to be in the U.S., I believe. If Saunders wants any type of chance to get a decision, it better be in a neutral place. I can tell you that much. Billy Joe ducked Andrade. Well, he in the last interview that I actually saw, Robert, of Billy Joe Saunders, he says he's not going to sit around and wait on Canelo. If there's not serious talk and fighting Canelo in April, May, he said he has other opportunities, and he actually stated Demetrius Andrade is one of them. He said he will move up to super middleweight. He said he wants to fight him. I just watched the interview today. Saunders fights against Joe Ryder. Could have gone either way. Joe Ryder. I don't even know if I've seen that fight. Freedom Fighting. I don't know if I've seen that fight. I had to go back and look at that. I only want this fight so everybody can see Canelo beat Saunders. Like a piñata. That is possible, man. I mean, but y'all, listen, I'm not going to sleep on Saunders. Everybody has their opinion, and I respect them all. And some people might think I'm crazy for giving Saunders a chance, more so than other super middleweights. But I'm not going to sleep on Saunders, man. Canelo will be Saunders' toughest competition. You right, 6007, because he hasn't fought anybody, of the caliber of Canelo Alvarez. He was on them roids, Robert? Come on, man. You serious? Give me some facts, man. Give me some facts. Saunders did not school Andy Lee or Eubanks. Both of them fought. Both of the fights was close. Man, Robert, listen, bro. I watched both of those fights, and I say Saunders schooled Eubanks more so than he did Andy Lee, because everybody, including me, thought Eubanks was going to knock him out. Now, Eubanks started coming on stronger in the second half, but he couldn't get him out of there, bro. I think he schooled him, man. He gave him a boxing lesson. David Lemieux isn't that good. He's not a world-class fighter. He's a good fighter, but every time he steps up in competition, look what happens. Same thing with Adrian Broner. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Daniel Jacobs. They're not world-class fighters. You remember when David Lemieux was the next big thing being talked about before Triple G fight? Only declined since. Yeah, I remember that too. David Lemieux, just like I said, he's not, he gets to a certain level of competition and that's it. I don't know Saunders' reach either, bro. Billy Joe Saunders is better when he gets good competition. That may be true. So if that's the case, if he fights Canelo Alvarez, he should be great, because that's the best competition he's ever faced. Saunders was on steroids against Lemieux. I'm going to have to look that up, Robert. I ain't saying that you're lying, bro, but I'm going to have to look that up. Definitely. Because I didn't know that. On point. On points, it does. But Canelo can take anything Saunders throws. I don't think Saunders is going to hurt Canelo whatsoever, man. I really don't. The only thing, short bust, the only thing I think Saunders could do is just outwork him. That's it. Got to make Canelo run and work. Billy Joe Saunders has the skills. Tough call, though. I believe that, Fish. He does have the skills, man. He really does. We got 46 people in. Thank you guys for tuning in. No, he doesn't have KO punch power, man. He breaks fighters down is what he does. Yeah, I seen Callum's arm, man. I seen that. That was a result of left hooks to the arm by Canelo. He doesn't move as much at 168, but seems to weight more power. Nah, he doesn't move as much, but he still moves pretty good at 168. Canelo has great carryover punches. J.A., you're right. A lot of people don't even know what a carryover punch is, but you are spot on. Canelo fought Laura. Oh, yeah, that's right. Laura wouldn't beat Saunders. Laura would beat Saunders. Laura would beat anybody, man. Laura and that close with Canelo was close. It was close. Laura is a really freaking a horrible fight for anybody. No, this is not my first live. This is actually, I've actually been doing a handful of lives here. This is maybe my 6th live, but I'm here frequently, day after day. I've been doing them, man. So I'm getting used to them, and I'm getting to communicate with the audience, the subscribers, and new people coming in. we getting to know each other, man, and that's why I like doing it. I like this more so than recording videos and editing the videos and posting them. Jacobs would beat Billy Joe Saunders? I don't think so. I don't think Daniel Jacobs would beat Billy Joe Saunders. I honestly do not think so, because especially now. I mean, maybe a prime Jacobs, but not now. If they fought tomorrow, Billy Joe Saunders all the way. The time to beat Canelo was 10 years ago. Jose, you're right, man. I mean, I think you stated that in another live stream. Canelo's in his prime. He's 30. He's 30 years old, and he knows a lot. He's learned a lot since that loss against Mayweather. So, I mean, it's going to be real hard to beat him. Now, I'm not on here saying that I think for sure Saunders will beat him. I just think he has a better chance than all the other super middleweights out there. Bear, what's good? You like to see Saunders versus Charlo? That would be a good fight. That would be a real good fight. I think Saunders takes that fight, though. Saunders won't get past Andrade. All right, listen. Let me talk about Andrade for a little bit, y'all. Andrade, I think, out of all these super middleweights, is the worst fighter. I really do. And y'all don't get upset for me saying that. I'm just giving y'all my personal opinion. Andrade's footwork and his balance is horrible. Have y'all seen the guy when he punches? Now, I mean, listen, he's undefeated, so obviously it's working. But when he's throwing punches to the body on the inside, his head is straight down, looking down at the ground. And when he throws it, he's a southpaw fighter too. And he is slick. But when he throws his 1-2, he telegraphs the cross every time. He'll jab, cock, and then throw. Jab, cock, and then throw the left straight cross. And I just don't think his fundamentals are good at all. He's very awkward. He kind of reminds me of Prince Nassim Muhammad. You know, he was a southpaw also, man, and he had amazing power, but he didn't have great basic fundamentals. He was just really awkward with his punches and how he would loop his uppercuts and dive in with his hooks. So that's kind of who Andrade reminds me of. But I don't think he's sound at all. But he's undefeated, so obviously he's doing something right. No disrespect. What's going on, Dan? Appreciate you showing up, man. If Canelo beats Benavidez, I say he has a chance at... If Charlo beats Benavidez, I say he has a chance at Canelo. I mean, listen, that's hard to say, man, because styles make fights. Styles make fights. All right, I got another question for y'all, all right? Because I don't want to go too long. I got another question. Now, there's a possibility that we're going to have the Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko rematch next year. What do you guys think about that? Should that be a rematch? I mean, did Lomachenko do enough to warrant a rematch against the newly crowned Lopez? I'm going to wait for some answers on that. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. We got 48 in, and we got 37 likes. Respect. F Lomachenko. No rematch. Okay. Anybody else? Give me y'all opinion on that before I give y'all mine. No, I hear you. 6007. I feel you, man. Who else? Let me get a couple of more, and then I'll give y'all my opinion. And I'll go ahead and shut this thing down. Anybody else? What's y'all opinion on that? HB, no. Give me two more, and then I'm going to give y'all my opinion. Who else? Well, rematch will be good. Okay. I think Loma can pull off a win if he starts early. All right. We got a yes. Loma will beat him. All right. Let me give y'all my opinion on that. Now, there wasn't a rematch clause, if y'all didn't know. And Loma did have some shoulder issues. All right. There wasn't a rematch clause, and that tells me one thing. That tells me that Loma was probably confident that he was going to beat this young kid. Because let's face it, man, Lopez is a kid. He's 23 years old. But he came to win. He came to eat. He came to take that lunch money. He definitely came to take that lunch money, and he took it. All right? So that's Loma's fault for not having a rematch clause. All right? Loma started way too freaking late. 8th round is when he started. But he did have some success in that late start. Even hurt Lopez. Okay? Now, people say he was just trying to reserve energy for the second half. Well, the second half is the 6th round, not the 8th. Okay? So you have to start much sooner than the 8th round. And I don't think he was trying to reserve energy. I think that Lopez was just putting it on him, and he did not know what to do, and finally started figuring him out in the 8th round. Took him a lot longer than he thought, and still couldn't take Lopez out. Now, did that have something to do with the shoulder injury? I don't know. But I can tell you guys this. Do I think he did enough to warrant a rematch, even though there's not a rematch clause? No. Now, if there was a rematch clause, it'd be a different thing. But I don't think Loma did enough. Now, am I mad at a rematch? Should it happen? No. Because now Loma knows what to do. Loma knows he has to start right off the bat. Straight off the gate, he needs to start. Because I think the outcome probably would have been different if he'd done that in the first fight. So honestly, do I want a rematch? I honestly don't want a rematch. I want to see Lopez fight somebody else. But if they do rematch, which they may rematch, I'm not going to be mad at it. Because I honestly want to see what Loma can do, like a lot of other people out there, if he starts early. So that's my opinion on that Lomachenko Lopez rematch. I want Lopez versus Tank, not Loma. Short Bucks, that's the fight I want too. That's the fight I want too, because, man, I honestly don't know who would win that fight. Yes, as soon as Lomachenko picks up the pace, Lopez started struggling. Yes, that's what I'm saying. So what you waiting on, man? What was Loma waiting on? It was Lopez. He wasn't waiting. He didn't have it figured out, in my opinion. Loma versus Haney. I don't think Haney's ready for that yet, man. Haney is a good young champion, but I don't think he's ready for that yet. Yeah, Lopez kind of won based on Loma's inactivity. You know what, CO? I got to respectfully disagree with that. Lopez put in that work for the better part for those 8 rounds. He put in the work, man. He put in the work, and I believe it was because of his work Loma was not reacting. And I don't think it was Loma trying to pick his spots or trying to reserve energy. No disrespect to you, man, but I think it was Lopez, man, all day, man. But obviously, I see what you're saying. I might be reading into your comment wrong. You know, when it's all said and done, his inactivity is what really got him the loss and what Lopez was doing. So it was both, definitely. Errol told Crawford kick rocks. I don't think Errol wants to fight Crawford, man. That's for another video, but I don't think he wants to fight. Loma is going to do what AJ did. That is quite listen, man. I still give it a 50-50 chance. But I don't like Loma making those excuses, man. Take your loss like a man. Like Santa Cruz did. Go back to the drawing board and you start early, man. What the world you want to start in the 8th round for? Come on, Loma. That's stupid. I don't care if what the fighter's doing is not allowing you to start. You need to start anyway. You got to take chances, bro. Come on, man. That made me mad. Do you think Jake Paul is the best YouTuber that started boxing? Yes, I do. And he's getting better. I just wish he would chill out a little bit. I mean, he's 23, young, crazy, arrogant. He's a young dude full of piss and vinegar, but I think he needs to chill out on these antics and doing this crazy stuff. But hey, man, that makes for good entertainment, and that's more views he gets on YouTube. So, I mean, never mind what I'm talking about. Jake's going to do Jake, but he's definitely the best YouTube boxer out there. Definitely. How much do you think confidence will play in a rematch? Listen, confidence makes all the difference in the world, y'all. I've gone into fights before in my amateur career back in the day, afraid of some of the fighters. And actually, I went into a fight one time back in 2006, afraid of one guy. His name was Bobby the Alpha Male Jones. He was 245, a mountain of muscle. Huge. It was his physicality that had me shook. I was only 215. But nevertheless, I was a heavyweight. And I got knocked down twice in that first round, man. And it was because I was afraid of this guy. But once I started understanding that what he was doing wasn't going to take me out, once I saw that he started getting tired, once I saw that he's a man just like me, I got him out of there in the third round. So confidence plays a huge factor going into a fight because if you're scared, if you don't get it right, you know what I'm saying, before that fighter sees that you're scared, he gonna get you out of there. You know what I'm saying? So it plays a huge factor. Nobody wants that Canelo smoke, huh, man? Yo, so Andrade wants it. Andrade says he wants it. I don't think he knows what he's asking for. Lopez versus Josh Taylor. That's a good fight. Thanks for the respectable answer, but I think rounds 7 and 11 were pretty one-sided. No problem, CO, man. It's all about respect over here, real talk, man. That's just what I do. I don't know about others, but, you know, I try to, you know, keep it nice and respectful. You know what I'm saying? Even when people get out of the way with me, I still try to keep it nice and respectful. It's all about nice, respectful conversation. We're talking about boxing, y'all. You know, the sport I love to hate. So let's talk about it. You dig? I will pick Tank over Lopez, but will be a great fight only because I think Tank, his little is a little better. Is a little better. I think I don't know, man. I think they're even. I think they're evenly matched. Honestly, I'm talking about power and everything. I think they're evenly matched. Would be a great fight. I'd be there to watch it, definitely. Canelo beats anyone at 168 and under. Teddy, bro, I believe the same thing. I believe the same thing. I think Saunders, like I said, Saunders has he has the tools to do what he needs to do, but we still talking about Canelo, man. Logan Paul needs to prove himself. Him fighting Floyd won't prove anything because he's just going to lose. 6007. You are correct. But Logan Paul is not going to lose. He's going to lose, but he's not going to lose. You know how much money he's going to make, bro? If I fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. and I lost, I didn't lose. You know why? Because my wife's not going to work anymore. I'll retire early. I'll have loads of money in my daughter's savings account. So Logan's not going to lose. He's going to lose, but he's not going to lose. You know what I'm saying? If I fought Logan Paul and lost, I still wouldn't lose because, once again, my wife would stop working. I would pay my house off and retire early. And all I would do is go to church, work out, spend time with my two ladies, and live my life, man. And live my life. At least you keeping it real, brother. I thank you, Brown. Mr. Brown, I appreciate that, man, because listen, can I ask y'all something? I want to ask y'all something. I'm going to change the subject, all right? What other YouTubers, boxing YouTubers, do you guys watch? Give me 5 comments on that, and then I'm going to tell you guys who I watch and why. What other 5 boxing YouTubers do y'all watch on YouTube? Let me see who's going to be the first. None? Dr. Shelton, stop, man. You lying. You don't watch no other boxing YouTuber on YouTube? Not just me, homie. Don't make me feel special, homeboy. The Wade concert. Showbiz the adult. I look. Oops. Showbiz he's almost too much for me, man. His personality is just almost too much for me to handle, but he knows what he's talking about, y'all. Bruce Vane, don't know who that is. Okay, I see a lot of Showbiz. Ring IQ, got you. Moonshine, Champside, got you. Man, I like Showbiz, man. Like I said, his personality is huge, and it's almost too much for me to handle sometimes. But the dude knows boxing, man, and he has a lot of followers, man. He has a lot of subscribers, so he's doing his thing. I do like Counterpunch, too. Counterpunch keeps it real. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't fall for the okie doke. We got some underground YouTubers that I love to watch. UGC Flame, I like him. I like DT3, the Boom Man also. Bushido Boxing, I just recently started watching him, man. The Boxing Bros USA. I've checked them out too. But yeah, Showbiz, Counterpunch, UGC Flame, and DT3 Boon Man, the Boon Man. I like those guys a whole lot. I like those guys a whole lot, man. Would you fight with Shannon Briggs for lunch money? Let me tell y'all something, man. I actually chatted FaceTime with Shannon Briggs on Instagram. Now, that's how down to earth and cool Shannon Briggs is. And I might have said this on other live streams, but man, he actually chimed me in because I made a comment that like threw him for a loop. Like, how do you know this? And he chimed me in, and I got to talk with that guy for about 5-10 minutes, man. I loved it. Would I get in the ring with Shannon Briggs? Yes. Yes. And I don't say that with the confidence that I would beat Shannon Briggs. Shannon Briggs would render me unconscious in probably the first round. I'd be lucky and blessed to get out of the first round. Show me the lunch money. Show me the revenue. Show me the revenue. I'll get in there. I'll get in there with him, man, for 500 grand. You know, say for instance, they paying Shannon Briggs $2 million. I'll take 500-600 grand. And I'll come back to the house, and hopefully I'm in the same mindset and in one piece. But I would definitely get in there with you. Would too. Come on. Yes, I would. Got you. Mr. Two Hands. All right. Let's go, champ. Wrong year. What's good? Juan, what's good? Yeah, I like IBFP. I like them a lot too, John. Gym boxing. Cool. Cool. Yeah, he does have a lot of first round knockouts, man. I remember watching him back in the early 90s, bro. Friday night fights, Wednesday night fights. I used to watch him all the time. Canelo pound for pound #1. As of right now, I would have to agree with that, Robert. Let's go, champ. Let's go, champ. Mr. Right, I feel you. Got you, man. All right, check this out. Oh, we got Hitman. Oh, Hatman. I think you mean Hitman Boxing. Hitman Boxing, you know, I like Hitman a lot, but he hasn't been posting, man. I don't know what's going on with him. I think he has a little over 10,000 subscribers. I hadn't seen anything from Hitman. I'm actually subscribed to Hitman. You know, he's one of the few that will actually comment back to one of your, you know, at least like them. Listen, y'all, I try to read every one of my comments, man. I always leave a like and a heart. And, you know, if it's real interesting to me, man, and you showing mad love and respect, I'll comment back to you. I'm going to try to get to where I'm coming back to everyone. Sometimes that gets a little hard. It didn't used to back in the day, but now, you know, I'm talking like I got tons of subscribers, but 6,000 subscribers is kind of hard to sometimes. But listen, y'all, this live stream has been great. I just want to give my input on Saunders and let you guys know how I felt about him. And I also wanted to get some feedback on Loma versus Lopez rematch. I want to thank the 74 people who chimed in to support your boy. I thank you guys. Remember, if you're new to this channel, you just see me for the first time, and you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man, and give me that like. Mad respect. And remember, y'all, after the holidays, after the New Year's, I got a giveaway. I got a giveaway coming, so y'all stay tuned for that video and don't miss out on it, okay? Because I want to give somebody some love and respect back. You feel me? These two prizes are going to go to one person, and these two prizes are legit. I would love to be in on a freaking chance to win these two prizes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, I didn't break the bank. Like, I don't want to, let me back up, y'all. It ain't like I got y'all like a Rolex watch or something like that. But the two prizes are very thoughtful, and they're awesome, man. And I would love to have them. Honestly, I really would. So, listen, I want to tell y'all something. Respect all, but you better not fear none. And God bless. Real talk boxing, baby. Till the next time. Peace, love. We gone. Yeah, buddy.